So now at the start of the runbacks, Neo is going first against Darkey. And by going first, I mean Neo's the only one who's going to be playing all these fights. In terms of what he has to do, this is going to be tough, but he can do it. The fight after this is going to be easier by comparison's sake. And then afterwards, he's going to have to fight Link Joker, which is Link Joker. Cherry, don't feel bad about it. Neo goes into Slayman and calls Hope Song. The PG is in the drop, so he gets that for unflipping later. Arrows were made, Cherry. You and me both. But Neo is doing well. A really good grade 2 turn, actually. If he can get rid of Darkey's resources early on, then he can just go in and do damage later. As a matter of fact, since Darkey shouldn't have much of an ability to retire this turn, he can just take this and do some shenanigans next turn. Yeah, but he didn't get the heal, so unless he already has, but so he can't do defeat flare this turn. He probably wouldn't have been able to anyway because he wouldn't have had enough. That's true as well. That's true as well, but it's a risk you have to take. Okay, so he's using Citrus. I don't think I would have been against him using Ultima's Stride skill on that turn if he had done it, just to push for more damage. Well, that heal isn't a heal, and it's not in hand. No triggers for Neo, though. Well then, he had one in hand ready. And that was how Hope died. So now we have early Titan. He has enough counterblast to make this work. Darkey also has to drop another card just to get Blaze. So if he goes in the battle phase, he doesn't get it. Oh, that doesn't have an extra crit. I hope Neo knows that. Because he has the ability to no guard, but his opponent also runs a lot of crits. Looking at the drop zone and thinking about what Darkey's done up to now, I think he can risk it. Oh, he could risk it. Well, Neo can push for damage, but he can't end it this turn. More importantly, though, he did save the perfect guard, so he can just use that next turn. If Neo attacks Vanguard last, he can actually bypass Denial Griffin. I mean, not Denial. He can bypass Defeat Flare, and then Denial would be the only problem. Alright, he can't use it. He never healed the other legend. Wow. Not really. Denial won't fuck up the combos. Denial will retire one, but he's gonna get the ability to get that back anyway later. So it's fine. Because even if he Denial Griffins, Suleiman or Twin Sword would still happen. So starting off with 18k, I think I would have started off with a 21. Oh, he's attacking Vanguard last. So taking that means something can be Denial Griffined. Now if Neo wanted, he could chain into Song of Hope. We'll see if Neo can keep Hope alive this time. It can, which is the negative of the situation, but that's not the worst thing that could happen. So Neo gets a heal trigger, and yes, I'm lagging because I only just saw it. That means that he's got a better chance of surviving next turn with G guard as well as everything else. So this will likely be Denial Griffined, this particular attack coming up, but it doesn't really matter because Neo gets another call. If he has another one, I actually would do Fragment there and he probably doesn't have another one. I would have done Knight of Fragment there if he had one, which he might not, so that he could get an unflip. He'd take that hit anyway. At that point, I feel like if Neo was really worried about the ace, he could have just ended his turn. It also depends on what's in Arthur's hand right now. Like, if Darkey has an Overlord in hand, then he can do it. If he can't stride, he's just going to use Undo, get a legend from the deck, and then do GB2. Novell actually wouldn't make sense in this situation. Because Neo does have a good ability to guard it, 1, and 2, he can just take the hit if all else fails. Okay, he's going for it. Neo has guard for this, though. No, Neo has a G guard, and he can drop hand until he has 3, and then he can Scouting Owl. That's the thing. Why can't he Scouting Owl? Oh, it is at the beginning of the guard step. Okay. Well, still, screw his 1 to pass, and then he can just drop more units to make it more. Dropping the perfect guard because it's not going to help him guard this at all. And he's got more than 1. Well, Neo doesn't have Counterblast. Yeah, Saint Blow. I forgot he runs that. I would just drop all my hand right now. Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, this should end the fight. Yep. No, if he did that and he has a heal in hand, which he might not, then Denial Griffin would have made things more difficult. I mean, Defeat Flare, because I think he's in the range to do that, but he might not be. Even still, it was safer to hit with rears first. It's safer to hit with rears first in case of a 6th heal. In case of 2 6 heals. Anyway, on to the next game.